have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Dirty. I have no idea where my co-host Arlington is. Welcome to the Fan Show Playoff Edition. Who's going to the championship? It's playoff time. Arlington and Houston versus Seattle in DC. Listen, we all know Dirty is kind of in a conundrum, whatever that word is that I'm looking for, but we know that. Here it is, the Mayor Division playoff weekend. Ball Hog 1 saying, what's up, y'all? There is a link. Viva Texas is saying Houston versus the winner of the North. B-Hog 1 says he will be at the championship game. So listen, I honestly, Viva, I'm going to put Viva's comment back up because Viva, bro, I don't know about, oh, God. Somebody is sitting in the backstage. Since Arlington's not here yet, I guess I'll put her on as much as I don't want to. I just had to deal with her yesterday, but...
Listen, I'll come on because he's not on yet.
Yeah, but...
That's the only reason why I came on.
But you don't want to root for any of the 4 teams that are in the championship game. In the championships. I mean, Viva Texas says it's going to be Houston versus Arlington. So I'm going to ask you, who do you think? I honestly think, like the mayor said on Tuesday, that Luis Perez might have a surprise for Houston. I think the Renegades might beat Houston.
No. I don't think so.
I mean, here B-Hawk 1 is saying drill, baby, drill.
It'll be Houston and Seattle.
What?
I don't do that. No. Yeah.
Say that again.
Houston and Seattle.
The nooch. The nooch.
Yeah,
the nooch. Listen.
I hate that dance.
Let's get back to the first game. I cannot honestly believe that you said Seattle. So okay, forget. We're gonna skip it because we'll talk about that. You're saying Seattle beating DC.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
What have I said this whole time? It only takes one game in the playoffs, isn't that?
Mm-hmm.
And you're out. And I
mean, look,
see
right here.
DC having a great season and them going and messing it all up.
Look, Viva Texas kind of agrees with you.
What?
That
He agrees with me?
that Seattle is going to beat Houston. You know what I mean? Look, I mean, I'm like this. I'm kind of. That's going to be, to me, the game. Oh, see, Marco's saying 2 upsets. So Marco's saying Arlington and Seattle. But the game.
This is
Seattle,
the XFL, so anything
that
could
is
happen.
true. You know, as the mayor pointed out on Tuesday, that most of these games, like, we did the math, right? And it was like 80% of the games were decided by 8 or less points.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, how often do you do that? I mean, how often do you really see that in professional sports? I mean, right here, Viva Texas says the Nooch is going to be Gucci, San Antonio, and Orlando, and even Arlington exposed DC's weaknesses at the collapse of the game. Irene, I mean, yeah, remember, Seattle has a team. What's up? Got my man, the connecting people through wrestling. I mean, look, I mean, we all know who my man crushes are in the XFL. Do we not?
We know.
Who are my man crushes, Queen?
Jordan and
Say it.
nasty thing.
Say it. Just do it. Do the Nooch dance one time.
You know.
Do the Nooch dance. All right, here. I'm gonna make a bet with you. If, let's say, Seattle gets to the playoffs, okay, they get to the championship game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Nooch and Seattle win the game. Okay, you have to do the Nooch dance at the championship.
What is happening right now? No.
That's my end of the bet. What would you like to make the bet?
I can do anything.
Well, okay, I got it. If the Nooch makes the playoffs to the championship and they don't win, I never do the Nooch dance again.
Oh, I'd have to say deal on that one.
All right, Mayor, please talk to Nooch. Tell him to flex on everybody. B-Hawk one says, I'll take your bet dirty. Viva Texas says, I'll do the Nooch dance. Me and Viva Texas are going to do the Nooch dance if Seattle makes it the playoffs. We're going to.
What is wrong with him? Is he?
See, Marco's saying take the bet, Amanda. What's up, Chris? But yeah, so there you go. You heard it. If Seattle makes it to the playoffs and they win, the Queen Hyena from B-Hawk Live has to do the Nooch dance. And if they don't, I never do the Nooch dance again.
I don't want to have to do that dance.
Look, right here. Look, people. Nooch.
I hate it.
Nooch. Anyways, but no, I mean, you're looking at, like Marco said, I mean, let's go back to the Arlington-Houston game. I have no idea where Arlington is. He's probably sleeping.
I know. I'm hoping he's okay.
Well, thank you for joining me. I mean, even though our team isn't in it, but actually 2 of my teams are in it.
You know what?
And then the Defenders.
You know what?
What?
I don't like that flag at all. It's like,
I love that flag.
it's like,
if they win, if they go to the championship, right?
mm-hmm.
Dirty needs to see you a hat to put on the shelf. I got a hat. I got a Seattle hat right here. I got 2 of them.
No,
there's one, and there's the green one right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I got a hat. I got a Seattle hat.
You can see that green from a mile away.
I know, but if Seattle makes it, I'm bringing this with me. I'm bringing this with me.
Listen.
And hold on. I'm also even going to bring this right here. Got to move this out of the way. I'm bringing the Nooch customized Nooch flag too.
I wouldn't even hang that up in my studio.
This is the X Fan Show. I have to have all XFL gear in the studio.
I know.
So yeah, hey bro, you gonna get me? Hey Marco, if you're gonna be if you're gonna be at the game, bro, pick me up the True Brand Nucci hat that he did. You know, you want to see me in an all orange Adidas? Viva Texas, I'm gonna tell you something, brother, right now.
Ew.
If Seattle makes it,
Dirty will be out like directing traffic.
if the Sea Dragons make it, I will come to the championship game in an all orange Adidas jumpsuit. I will paint my face with the green hat. Yes, I will do it. I will bring this hat.
Clown.
Amanda,
Just
look,
clown.
I will bring this hat, this flag, and an entire orange jumpsuit. And I will even paint my face orange.
What?
Yep.
Oh, man.
This
is like gone off the rails. What is going on?
B-Hawk 1 goes, I got orange paint, Dirty. All right, brother, if Seattle makes it, you bring it, because I'm wearing it.
I do his makeup.
Look at
so
this.
maybe I should do yours too.
And he won't be sitting next to Amanda and Daddy Ed. Oh, Dirty might as well. We call him super orange. I am pretty super orange. I will be. I mean, my belly is rather large, so I will be super orange for sure. But okay, Amanda. So look, actually, B-Hawk 1 actually sent me something. So let me.
Oh no, what'd he send?
Well, it's funny because I was trying to get things together, waiting for Arlington. So I was trying to get all the stuff backstage going, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, where did he send it to us? Well, he sent it to you, me, and Arlington, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is on Twitter. Okay, Amanda, we kind of touched on this yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seattle wins the championship, and Dirty. You know what? I'll get a Nooch tattoo. I'll get a Noocher tattoo. Right here.
People.
Look, yeah.
Everyone is egging you on.
Look, I'll do it right here. This would be the tattoo I'd get. Right
that
here.
whole thing?
No, this with the 6. And then it says, Nooch.
Ew.
Nooch. Yes, I'll do it. If the Sea Dragons make the playoffs and they win, I will get a Noocher tattoo. You think I'm joking, don't you?
That's why I'm making that face. Because no.
I'll get it, Robert.
Don't.
I'll get it. You know what, Robert? We'll even do it while we're in San Antonio. I'll get the tattoo right after the championship game.
Oh, my God. What is happening right now?
Get it on your gooch. No, I ain't getting it on my gooch. That would hurt.
Viva, what's in your Kool-Aid?
Dirty said he has his face the color of orange. That's dumb. I don't care, Javier. Hey, listen, my other team, look, I have 3 teams, right? I have the Brahmas, I have the Sea Dragons, and I have the Battlehawks.
Mm-hmm.
One of my teams are in there. So as much as I love Jordan, I'm rooting for the Sea Dragons, right? So
you do know Jordan watches our show, right?
Yeah, I know he does. I know he does.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm rooting for both teams on offense. I can tell you that. But anyway,
backpedal.
Back to what we said, right? So B-Hawk 1 decides to send me this, and listen, we talked about it yesterday. If Dirty gets a tattoo, I'm definitely boycotting the show. I will no longer recommend it to anybody. Brother Hawk, you've watched me get a tattoo before of the Battlehawks. You know I like to do dumb things, so whatever. Anyways, a guy named Matty Ice, his Twitter hashtag is @Matthew FRAZEE 69. Great number, by the way, 69.
Okay.
He 69 is one of my favorite numbers.
Mm.
7, 13, 21, and 69. Like if like when you do a creative player in like Madden or baseball, did you ever play Madden as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I would do creative players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my quarterback would be number 7.
Mm-hmm.
My running back would be my quarterback would either be 7 or 13. My running back would always be 21. And then my linebacker would always be 69. Those are my favorite numbers. Those are the numbers I like to use. And if I go like gambling or something, when I play Clino, I always hit number 69 because it always hits. See, like right here, look. Viva Texas says it's my wedding anniversary. 69 is a great number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, Amanda, we all know where your mind is on. I mean, see, look, your dad even says it, Amanda. 69. Yes, sir. Great number. There's the comment.
Okay. Where is this going?
So I'm reading you the guy's name. It's Matthew FRAZEE 69.
Mm-hmm.
That's his Twitter handle, right? He replies to the Battlehawks at 203 Brandon and two others. Let's see who the two other idiots are that he replies to. 203 Brandon, Stephen G511, and then Mike something, right?
Mm-hmm.
He says, boycotting the XFL playoffs. BC. What does BC mean?
Because.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know all that little kid stuff. It's rigged and scripted. See, your dad said, of course, Jared Allen, the great Minnesota Viking.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Look, see, little brother Hawk says, quit picking on Amanda.
Thank you.
But okay.
Thank you.
Daddy Ed, we talked about this yesterday. You said you hadn't seen anything. Well, here it is. He says that it's being that the XFL is scripted and rigged. Now, let me think of something here. Maddie, how do you say his last name? FRAZEE 69. How do you say that last name?
Frazee.
Let me explain something to you, sir. Let me explain something to you, good sir. You are an official idiot. Idiot. If the XFL was rigged, okay, I could already tell you this. There's two teams that would be in the championship, and it would be San Antonio and the St. Louis Battlehawks. The two biggest fan bases that drew the most people. The Battlehawks drew over 100,000. The Brahmas drew over 70,000. You're in the host city of San Antonio. If it's scripted, why wouldn't you put San Antonio in the championship? So to me, into the X-Fan Show, sir, you are an idiot. And I'm glad you're not going to watch the playoffs. You're an absolute moron. You should drive onto oncoming traffic.
Hey.
Idiot.
Hey.
Idiot.
Hey now.
Yes, Daddy Ed. He's an official idiot. Idiot. Scripted. I'm tired of this crap. It's not scripted. Unfortunately, listen, I know we all complained about the playoff system, but we all knew how the playoff system was set up and all that, right? Thank you, Joe McKay. I'm glad you loved it. Idiot. Matty Ice, Matt Freezer, 69 on Twitter is an idiot. Hashtag. Everybody hashtag that. Hashtag his name. Hashtag at Matthew Freezer, FRAZEE 69. Idiot. Idiot. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So, I mean, look. You got Arlington and Houston. Arlington was a 4-6 team. Yeah, of course the Battlehawks are not in the championship of in the playoffs 7-3 team. But the playoff system was already set up. Does it suck that the way it was set up? Sure it does, right? Okay. But let's really look at this. If you did it that way, if you did it you had the 4 best teams make the championship, right? Here's how it would break down. Houston still doesn't beat St. Louis or Seattle in any of those categories. Okay? So technically, Houston would be the fourth best team. So it would be DC versus Houston, St. Louis versus Seattle is how it would work. But they didn't set it up that way. All year they preached to us the top 2 teams in every team. What we've seen, if you go back and literally watch Player 54, Amanda, you've watched Player 54, right?
Yep.
I've watched all 7 episodes of it. Every single team had the exact same advantages as the other teams. The coaches got to pick their own staffs, right? The coaches got to put who they wanted in as their quarterbacks. The coaches got to pick their players. They all had the same training. You heard it from Trey Watson last night on our B-Hawk live show, which you can catch on Wednesdays. You heard from Trey Watson saying that every single player had the exact same advantages as every other player.
I don't even understand why this is a conversation, because
you're right. And
quit
so
crying
this is the
wolf.
last. This is the
when you lose, you lose. You're out. You're out. I don't get it. You can't call foul every time a team loses when they need to win it.
Right, and you heard Trey
Get
Watson
over it.
on our show, Amanda. What did he say? We crapped the bed week 9. We should have won week 9. We were in. We crapped the bed ourselves. We played the interview from Coach Beck. He said we crapped the bed week 9. It's the way it was set up. So we're not.
It shouldn't have to come down to sitting in a restaurant, watching it, biting our nails, tooth and thumb, to think that it's going to come down to points.
Right.
I mean,
now,
it shouldn't even be like that.
Right. Now, Amanda, let's talk about it, because Arlington really is. Let's talk about the first game. Arlington is one of the most low-scoring teams in the XFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Arlington has a built-in advantage when it comes to travel, etc. They get to stay home all season. Really? Do they? You heard Trey Watson. Go back and watch our show yesterday. Trey Watson said nobody really had an advantage. Nobody really had home games. Even though they played in their home cities, nobody really had a home field advantage.
You can't use the home field thing either, because we actually did worse at home than we did away.
I mean, you're right. We did.
So you can't use that as an excuse.
Right. See, and Ed said it right here. Ed said it best when he said we went 3-1 against DC and Seattle, which is true. See, look, like right here, Viva Texas says, Seattle crapped the bed week 1 versus St. Louis. We win that game, different playoff story. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
You said Seattle. You said San Antonio.
Oh, St. Louis. So Amanda, here's what I want to kind of do, right? Let's kind of look at the 4 teams that are playing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we do know the Renegades were probably the least scoring team that there was.
Mm-hmm.
Probably scored some of the least amount of points in the entire league, right?
Mm-hmm.
They only had 5 passing touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Okay? They only had 7 rushing touchdowns. So they actually only scored on offense 12 points, 12 touchdowns. 12 total touchdowns. They had 2 1-point conversions and 3 2-point conversions and 0 3-point conversions. Okay? Now, the team that they're going up against, the Houston Roughnecks, probably one of the hottest teams in the beginning of the year.
The somersault team.
Right. They went 4-0 in the beginning. They had 9 rushing touchdowns, 20 reception touchdowns, 29 total touchdowns. Now, here's where it really gets you, where they really scored a lot of points. 3 1-point conversions, 5 2-point conversions, and oh, nope, okay, I lied. That was Seattle. I'm an idiot. My bad. Houston Roughnecks had 13 rushing touchdowns, 16 receptions, passing touchdowns, 29 total touchdowns. For the 1 points, they had 2 1-points and 6 2-pointers. Okay? Now, if you go back and you look at the last couple weeks of Arlington, once Luis Perez got there, this team really started to turn it around with Luis Perez, right? Mm-hmm. I had said it in the beginning of the year, Amanda. I said it in the beginning of the year when they talked about all the teams and everything, right? I said this team, the Arlington Renegades, was going to be a 500 team, right? Yes, Phil, exactly. Exactly. So this isn't a rigged league. Because if it was,
No.
Phil's team would be in there and the St. Louis Battlehawk team would be in there. You'd put your two biggest fan bases in there. So,
So when you go to the casino, let me ask this. So when people go to the casino and sit at a slot machine, is that rigged too?
Well, I mean,
or when they sit and play cards
well,
with people?
listen, if you used to go back in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s when the mob owned it, might have been just a little bit rigged.
Oh, ridiculous. Don't care.
Right, yeah, here, like what your dad says, definition of dilemma, watching Arlington's offense versus watching paint dry. Thank you. It's not rigged. I know, but somebody said it, you know. Yes, exactly. We have to remember it's year one. Yes, we have to. Regulate it for sure. Yeah, okay. But anyways, back to my point. I said that the Renegades were going to go 500. Well, they went 4-6. They went 4-6, right? Because I knew what their offense was going to be like because of Jonathan Hayes, and I knew what their defense was going to be like for Jonathan Hayes on the defense and Jay Hayes on the offense. It was exactly the way the Battlehawks were going in 2020. Whether anybody wants to believe me or not, the Battlehawks were going to go 5-5 in 2020. Whether you want to believe it or not. Guess what? 2023 proved my point. That the Jonathan Hayes and and Jay Hayes' coaching system is a 500 team at best. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you heard Kyle Slaughter said, I don't understand why we're not passing the ball. And Joe McKay, I hope it is the year of the Sea Dragon. Because I'm bringing this with me. I'm bringing my green hat with me. I'm bringing my Nooch flag with me. And I'm buying an orange jumpsuit. Yeah, see, Matthew said it right here. There is truth to that. I mean, Brady Book says 100% agree on the St. Louis going 5-5. So listen.
Gardner snakes more than likely.
Listen. But with Luis Perez, when Luis Perez got there to Arlington, right? Something changed in that team. Something changed in that team. I mean, they gave DC a run for their money in Luis Perez's first start, where they only lost to 2 points. 2 points by DC. 28-26. 2 points.
Listen, football is like a relationship, right? Sometimes when you are in it and your communication's better with the team, then everything just flows better. And maybe he just wasn't having that before, and he is now.
Right.
And props to him for that.
He wasn't doing it in Vegas. You're absolutely right, Amanda. He wasn't doing it in Vegas.
Mm-mm.
And when Kyle Slaughter said, I don't understand why we're not passing the ball more. Why do we keep running it? What happened to him? Guess what? The next week he was shipped out, and now he's in the USFL. You don't talk out against your head coaches. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Do we forget who we're talking about?
Right. Look, right here. This is going back to Luis is called leadership. Look at his New Jersey Generals, 9-1 last year.
Call your man crush and tell him that for me, will you? Tell him to keep his mouth shut.
You see, listen. Who, Jordan? Oh, Jordan always keeps his mouth
shut. No.
Jordan always
keeps his mouth shut. You know exactly who I'm talking about. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Hot water. Oh, he goes, oh my God. I just get a text message from my co-host. OMG, I overslept. LOL. I am doing this show from bed. Well, guess what? We don't need, I guess I don't need you now because I got, but please come on so I can kick her out of here. Anyways.
Yeah, Arlington, where are you at?
I really think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. You're right. The Nooch is A++. Absolutely right. I honestly think
everyone needs to get out of his pooch then. I'm over it. I'm sorry. Can't deal. Instead of screw the Nooch, it's screw the pooch. I'm over
it. Too much hot water for A-Train. Yes, that is too much hot water for A-Train. He must have had too much fun last night. But anyways, I really think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think it is, this Arlington-Houston game. I really do.
I hope so.
I mean, it's kind of a toss-up to me. Houston played so well in the beginning of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go back to Houston record. So we all know that they went 4-0, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until week 5 when they played Seattle, okay? And then that's when, as the mayor likes to say, the Bo Callahan took effect, right? Ben does not lack character. Ben's got all kinds of character.
Come
Phil says
on.
Houston is going to run the Renegades out of the building. They get ran out of the dome 2 weeks later by DC. Okay, all right.
Okay, but if you look at Houston's fan base, no offense to the fans, but if you look at Arlington, he gonna get mad with me saying this. Let me hurry up. I don't think Houston's fan base is got nothing on DC's fan base. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna get mad at me.
Ladies
I'm
and gentlemen,
sorry, my camera's out. I am so sorry about
no,
that.
everybody knows. Everybody knows you overslept. We already told everybody you overslept.
Like an idiot, man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the X Fan Show. I am one of the hosts of this show, the professional, Dirty. The guy next to me over here is the idiot with Matt Freezer 69 on Twitter. Hashtag Matt Freezer 69 idiot. Arlington Lane. And graciously enough to join us is the Queen because, the Queen never wants to leave the Legion hanging.
You're starting a war, is what you're doing. Starting
Hey, Arlington, did you hear my comment about the fan base?
Yeah, I heard it.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
here's the thing we could say about the Queen Hyena. She's always got her eye on the target. Always got her eye on the target.
I see that.
Right, yeah. She's always making sure that if one of us doesn't show up, she shows up and helps us out.
Thank you, Amanda, once again.
Yeah.
Okay,
I left another person hanging too that was supposed to be on the show.
Yeah, she's always got her eye on the target. We got to give her that one.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all do the show now.
Oh, you're gonna leave us now? Oh, okay. Goodbye then. So here's what we do. We'll just do this.
No.
Boom, she's gone. We just kicked her out.
Yeah.
So Arlington, we were talking about the Arlington and Houston game, right?
Correct.
Now, you guys do that great podcast, Rough 'em Up, that drops today after this show, actually.
Correct.
Phil says, good morning, Arlington. Robert Wilkins says, good morning. So I go back and I start looking at this. So week 5 is when really the decline, of
what?
Of the decline for Houston, to be honest. They start playing the North. They lose 21-14 to Seattle.
Okay.
Then they go to the next week. They go to DC. They lose 37-26.
Let me jump in with this. When they lost John Kirkland, it messed up the whole offense.
I agree.
Smith's offensive scheme. It messed it up a lot. So they had to readjust. And then you didn't see a lot of deep passes after that.
You didn't.
And that was their big MO. And granted, yes, they did have a problem against the XFL North, but they still got a win against them. And I think for their morale, they needed that win against Vegas, right? And they should have beat St. Louis, believe it or not, against Houston, but they did not play Brandon Silvers. He did not play. I think it would have had a much different outcome because of the state of fact that what they did with Cole McDonald, they let Cole McDonald play Brandon Silver's playbook, and that's not Cole McDonald's game. And I think that was a mistake with A.J. Smith, right? Okay, they had the loss against D.C. because D.C. was just the better team against Houston that week. Houston and Seattle, Houston just couldn't get it. They just couldn't get it done. They were slow on offense, and they should have beat Seattle. But Seattle's defense, we're going to give credit to.
Oh, you got to. You have to. You have to. Like Viva Sexus says that the Wade Phillips midseason decline, and actually, I'm glad you said that, B-Hawk 1. So let me I got something for you, buddy.
Me?
Go on. Yeah, go ahead. Finish what you were saying, Arlington. I got something for you.
Well, in the 3 losses, they were all, of course, against North teams, and then with the one loss being to with the one loss being to excuse me, all 3 losses being to North teams, it make it seem like that the Houston Roughnecks cannot beat a North team if they get to the championship game. It's going to be a difficult thing, but I think they'll be very competitive against their North opponent. But that's still not saying anything because they still have to face off against an Arlington team that's hungry and they're ready to take away any chances from everybody because they already been labeled as we're going to get our butts handed to them on Saturday. They already looking at it's different. It's a different team. It's going to be a different team, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree it's going to be a different team. So I got something for you, pal. Let me pull this up real quick. So, I mean, here's something for you, buddy.
Oh, my God. Really? Oh my God!
I know. I don't know why I can't hear it. There's no sound to it. I don't understand why the sound's gone. I don't understand. Let me try this.
Oh, okay. Yo, sorry about that.
Huh?
Yeah, I hate to break it, y'all, but thank you for that. The sound won't come in because there's certain organizations that won't be too thrilled by that. You know, BMI.
That is true. But yes, you're right.
And ASCAP, ASCAP, they won't be happy with that.
Exactly. So I just had to put that up there for you, pal. You like that? You like that?
Shut up. Whatever.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I give it to you.
That was good. Thank you to D-Hawk
one. Do it, but sorry. Thanks, D-Hawk one.
That was good. But anyways, back to the game.
And I get it. Everybody's talking like Arlington's gonna get their butts handed.
Look, see, they're saying, "Look, I need audio now." Well, I'll put it up on the page. Amanda, put that up on the page. I sent it to the message. Put it up on the page so everybody could hear.
Yes, I'm dying laughing. I already know.
Arlington's love. Yes, I know. We'll put it up on the page.
Just know the fans gonna have a thrill about that one.
No, hey man, your love for Brandon Silvers, bro. You talk about me and my man crush.
I wish I would listen to the Rough 'Em Up podcast.
It's like this when you see Brandon Silvers.
That's not true, Ethan. And if you look at any of the Houston press conferences, I guarantee you, there's not a lot of love for Brandon Silvers.
That's not true. You do.
Okay.
But anyway,
talk about it if you want to, but I'll guarantee you right now.
You want me to play the video of you guys caught together?
Excuse me?
Do you want me to play the video again of you two caught together?
Sure.
You really want? No, we got. It'll be on our It'll be on our Facebook page. Go check it out. Anyways, but Arlington, I really do think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. I think this Arlington and Houston game is going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be. I still think Houston's going to pull it off, but I think Luis Perez would be in this system now for 3 weeks. I think he's going to do a lot better. And I mean, I really think that it might be closer. I'm still gonna go Houston though.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. For the to advance to the championship on May 13th. What do you think?
Yeah, You said Houston. I still think it's Houston and DC. I'm sorry. Seattle is going to get beat again. As long as DC don't sit on their hands, they're preparing. I still got DC over Seattle, man. I don't think they're gonna lose in that hostile crowd.
Okay, so now you speaking of that, Arlington. See, you missed the first part of the show, so let me zoom in because you know me, I'm really upset on who to vote to go for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm really. Oh, look who's joining us right as we get done talking about Houston and
But he can join us. We can join us for the season awards. Hey, there's Colin. Hey man, I'm sorry, my camera's not working today, dude.
You're good.
Colin, he's lying. He overslept and he's being lazy, and that's the only reason. Colin, let me show you something. I want to show you something, Colin. Did you know, Colin? You know, Arlington wants to talk all this trash about Brandon Silvers, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
Colin, remember, we in the same press box, dude. Just remember, we in the same.
Colin, I actually have video evidence of Arlington with Brandon Silvers. Let me play this for you.
This?
Let me play it for you. I have physical evidence of his love for Brandon Silvers. I have physical evidence of his love for Brandon Silvers.
Now, okay, that's enough.
Not.
It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy the love that he has. It's like this. Did you see here, Colin? Did you see this in his eye? That little magical twinkle in his eye when he looked at Brandon Silvers.
That's crazy.
Remember, we were in the same press conference. Did you see anything of love I have for that guy?
No.
No. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, listen. Colin, you saw it, right?
I saw that.
Don't let him lie to you. He's got love for Brandon Silvers. Don't let him lie to you.
He brings up a fair point, though, in that press conference. That video, something's not matching up.
Really, Colin? That's what we doing? That's what we're doing today?
All right, so Colin, we'd already, me and Arlington both made our picks. We said Houston's going to win. See, A-Train's head goes up where Silvers is. So,
really?
Yeah. I mean, that's what the fans say, buddy. They saw it firsthand. I have the physical evidence. You can go to our Facebook page, XFan Show, and you'll be able to hear the actual audio because we don't want to get hit with copyright infringements. So, but anyways, I think this game's going to be a lot closer than people think it's going to be.
Yeah, that's a valid point. It'll be closer than the game week 10.
Right, but I still think Houston is going to pull it out, but just barely.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid. I will pull it out, but I'm thinking it's going to be a lot like the game we had with them earlier in the year.
I agree. 100% agree.
Yeah. 100%
agree. And I think Luis Perez now being in the system for 3 weeks is going to be the difference for that Arlington, and that's why it's going to make it a closer game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
They're going to win, but I think it's going to be a closer game.
I just hope we see sort of different play from Perez, like more risk being taken from that offense. And I think we will. I think everyone knows it's playoff time. So yeah.
So now let's really get into it. Now that you're here, the game that probably everybody's wanting to watch, probably the most exciting game of the XFL Championship weekend, right?
Yes.
These two teams right here. We all know Dirty's love. We all know who Dirty loves.
Yes.
We all know who my man crushes are, right?
Yes.
Cullen, do you know who my man crushes are?
Danucci.
And who else?
Oh, God. Who else?
Right there. Number 10.
Oh, is that Jordan?
Yeah. That's my man crush, right? Those are my man crushes.
That's fair. Talma's fair.
Right. So let's really look
not
at
so
this.
much.
Right. Let's really look at this breakdown, okay? So Seattle, possibly the most high-scoring offense that there was, right? Coming to yards, 2,600. They had 2,600 over 2,600 yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 passing, right? And then, screw it. I'm just going to go to receiving, right? Sea Dragons, 9 rushing touchdowns, 20 rushing touchdown or passing touchdowns, 29 total touchdowns. Here's the shocker. 3 1-point conversions, 5 2-point conversions. And the team that completed the most 3-point conversions than any other team with 4 is the Sea Dragons. Now, they are going up against probably the most well-balanced team on offense and defense. The Defenders with 15 rushing touchdowns, 18 passing touchdowns for a total of 33 touchdowns.
So is Seattle the best offensive team, or does that go to DC?
Well. See, I'm going to explain why I say Seattle is the most prolific scoring, because then I'll break down on the passing yards and all that. They're definitely the most rushing team, but when I say most complete all-around team, it is DC, hands down. 1 or 2 1-point conversions. You ready for this stat, guys?
Go for it.
18 2-point conversions, more than any other team. The closest team to that was the Battlehawks with 12. Now, they never went for a 3-pointer, but they had 18. They completed the most 2-point conversions in the entire league, right? Now, you want to go into passing. Again, the Defenders, Jordan had a great season. Overall, the Defenders threw for over 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Roughnecks, 2,630, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Most of DiNucci's interceptions came in the end zone because Seattle really doesn't have a run game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's where it really gets interesting for these two teams. The defense. Total tackles for the Defenders, 447. 26 sacks. And they had 49 tackles, 4 losses.
Right.
The Sea Dragons, a team that we don't think of defense, right? 389 with 22 sacks, 47 of them 4 losses, right? So now we go to forced fumbles and fumbles recoveries. The Defenders, here you go, a crazy stat, 9 forced fumbles and 8 fumble recoveries. Sea Dragons really turned it up in the beginning of the season. They had 9 forced fumbles and 4 fumble recoveries.
Yeah.
Gets even better. Interceptions. 9 for the Defenders, 4, the most in the league. 4 of them returned 4 touchdowns. They had 100. Hold on, it gets better. 187 yards, and then Seattle only had 6 total interceptions, no touchdowns for 55 yards.
So okay,
now,
when we look at Seattle and DC, we look at a quarterback that's smart, and then we look at another quarterback that loves the big play and takes risks. Right. So we got both of those guys, right? And you already know without shadow of a doubt, Ben controls that offense over June Jones and Jim Haslett. We've seen that on occasion. And we're looking at, if, let's say, Seattle starts off really, really rough, Ben is going to make sure he stays in the entire game no matter what. No matter what. Because he controls Jim Haslett and June Jones. On the other side, let's say one is doing bad. The other can actually insert himself in and do okay. So it doesn't matter. If Jordan Te'amu if Jordan is in the game and he's not doing so great, then De'Aaron King is going to be coming in, and I think he can do a good job. The bad part to that is I don't think De'Aaron King has played a complete game this season.
No, I agree with you 100%.
That can be the downside if Jordan is having a rough game. So that's interesting to see what happens if the defense can rattle Jordan Te'amu a bit.
Now, we got Cullen Watkins from the Rough 'em Up podcast. You guys can catch that literally right after our show. That is with my host, A-Train, and Cullen. They do it, they do the Rough 'em Up podcast, and they talk all Roughnecks. Now, Cullen, I mean, like, what are your thoughts on what Arlington said? Because I mean, I kind of agree with them. I mean, we've seen that what we've seen from Seattle is they are a much better second half team. It's like DiNucci never gets rattled. It's like he never gets rattled. It doesn't. You know, like right here, Matt Firmer says, yes, the gunslinger, and he meant to say badass defense, which it really is. Which it really is. That's exactly what it's like, you know. I mean, one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL is Aaron Rodgers because he's a gunslinger. You know, you're living or dying on Aaron Rodgers' arm. Seattle lives or dies on on Ben DiNucci's arm. I mean, I agree with Arlington. Everything Arlington just said is absolutely true, in my opinion. I mean, what's your take on it?
And Dirty, what you said right there about everything riding on DiNucci's arm, that's what scares me for Seattle. Because we've seen, you know, especially beginning of the season, DiNucci, yeah, he can win games, but he can lose them with those turnovers. So I'm curious, what DiNucci are we going to see? Are we going to see a continuation of this end-of-season MVP caliber player? Or is the DC defense going to lead to a bunch of turnovers? I think at DiNucci, when he turns over that ball, DC's winning. Arlington, great point about, you know, Derek King and Te'amu. I think Jordan has it. You know, I think this occasion he's going to be at home. He played in the Dome in 2020 and this year too. This occasion isn't going to be too big for him. I have DC winning this game. I do. I love Seattle and their offense. They're explosive, but that can also be their downfall as well. DC is just way too well-rounded of a team for me to go against them.
So here, I watched that game that they had where they literally Seattle almost pulled that game out in Seattle against them. And Matt makes a great point. Greg Williams made 0 adjustments in that second half, and that could be the downfall. They will ride the die the same way. I kind of agree. If they don't make it, yeah, you're right. You're right, Phil. Gunslingers can lose you the game, and that's why I say everything rides on number 6 arms for Seattle. Because out of his 13 interceptions, Arlington, we counted it up, there were 7 of them that were completed in the red zone. Right. Ain't that right, Arlington, or was it 8?
You counted it.
Yeah, so it's like I think it was 7. 7 of them were in the end zone. So that has a lot to do with it. The problem with this game is it's the 2 most exciting players. Because listen, when I watched Jordan when he was here in St. Louis, right, when he played, and DC came in and rolled St. Louis, right? The kid's tough. Jordan Ta'amu is tough. You know what I'm saying? Ben DiNucci is tough. We saw him when he got landed and he was trying to catch his breath, didn't want to come out of the game. This is possibly going to be one of the most physical game for both of these players and these quarterbacks. The most physical thing. I mean, with Houston, we know Houston should run over Arlington. I think it's going to be a little bit closer because of Louise, right? But this is that game I just don't know how to pick. You know, Colin, like you said, DC is well-rounded. It's hard to root against them. But watching that game in week what was that week? I can't remember when they played DC, where when DC won by 1 point.
Week 7?
Was it week 7? I'm scrolling to find out. No, week 8. Week 8, right?
Yeah.
So here, I'm going to just go to the stats because if we get another game like this, if we get another game like this, I mean, I would be ecstatic. I mean, here we go. 65 total plays for DC, 55 for the Sea Dragons. Total yards, 323 to 354. First downs, 21 to 18. First down passing, 12 to 11. First down rushes, 5 to 6. First down penalties, 4 to 1. Third down efficiency, 66-7 to 30. But Seattle had them in the fourth down efficiency with 50%, right? Passing attempts, 17 to 28. Or completions, completions. Passing attempts, 20 to 42. Total passing yards, 236 to 301. Interceptions thrown. DiNucci had the interceptions thrown. Passing touchdowns, 4 to 3. Sacks allowed. DC had 2 sacks, right?
And you have to also throw into because what we didn't talk about with Seattle and DC are the receiver cores.
Yes.
On DC, you're looking at Chris Blair, Lucky Jackson, and there's another one I'm thinking of. I can't. It's not coming to me. You're thinking of that pairing, and then you got on Seattle Ja'Cory Pearson, Josh Gordon. That is ridiculous by itself. You know what I mean? Like that is in my man Green, Jalen Green.
Okay, so here you talk about the passing. So I'm looking at it right now. I have it pulled up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the top 10 receivers in the league. Okay, 3 of them are for Seattle. 1 of them is for DC. Of course, Ja'Cory Pearson, 670 yards, right? Then you have next Blake Jackson with 440. Then you have Josh Gordon with 540. And then you have Lucky Jackson with 573, right? Now, I'm just reading their passing yards. It's going by receptions and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you go down just a little bit in the top 15, Josh Hammond with 331. And then you go down just a little bit more, maybe in like just underneath it, you have Chris Blair at 594 on 26 receptions. Like, like you said, Arlington, and it's a good point. I could care less if the stats are boring. You know what's boring me? The Chiefs bore me. And the NFL draft bores me. But I still love you. This is going to be that team, like the DC. When we think of DC, we think of running.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We think of running.
Mm-hmm.
We think of Abram Smith. Just how he destroyed this league with 791 yards.
Yeah, plus you had the big game against St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that was also part of that too.
Like to me, this is the actual championship game. Seattle versus DC, to me, is the actual championship game, in my opinion.
I still think that Arlington and Houston is going to be competitive, man.
I think it's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive.
And I hope that Arlington uses everything that they've seen this past week as bulletin board material, with the coach back situation, with Jim Haslett talking about it, with Bruce Gradkowski.
Hold on, Arlington. Hold on. Who's got more World Series titles? The St. Louis Cardinals?
Man, we're not going to talk about that. And I know who is asking about that. It doesn't matter. And yeah, I know he's talking about that. I don't even have to look at the screen to know.
That's why I'm saying it. Oh, all right. Finish your thing.
It's irrelevant.
Finish your thing.
Yeah. So basically, we're looking at still 2 good matchups here, and that one team has not really seen what this new team can look like with this quarterback, meaning Arlington and Houston. And we touched on that on the Rough 'em Up show.
Mm-hmm.
Is that there's a difference this time than the first 2 matchups. Granted, well, they didn't show their hand in week 10. Probably not. We don't know, because it was a game that did not mean much, as many people were sitting back and tripping off the fact that a 4-16 got into the playoffs, and they want the format to change. Tell that to the USFL, European League of Football, CFL, and all that. And then you want to add wild cards to the freaking mix. Like, you just want to further complicate things. We mentioned that on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Yeah.
And they're not going to change that just for that simple reason. Just because you want wild cards. That's just not working. Sorry. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, see, and look, I said it. Listen, Seattle is going to ride or die on the Nucha's arm. Plain and simple. They're going to ride or die on that arm. The question is like Matt said earlier, does Greg Williams make some adjustments? Does he make some adjustments?
The game plan is the game plan. The game plan is the game plan for Greg Williams. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He don't make adjustments. It's up to the players to do that. Because he has a set plan on how he wants everything done. and they played Seattle twice. And granted, there's going to be some big plays given up by DC's defense. It's going to be whether they can sustain for the whole 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, like right here, this is a great thing. The unstoppable force versus the immovable object. That's exactly what this game is. And again, I'm going to say it. And you guys disagree with me or not. Yes, there is another championship South Division game going on, right? But to me, what I feel is the XFL Championship is the Seattle and DC game.
Please tell me you disagree with that, Cullen.
I mean, sure, the matchup on paper looks better record-wise, but the XFL Championship is going to be with the Roughnecks in San Antonio. That's what I'm looking for. But it's a great matchup. I mean, this is what the playoffs are for matchups like this. And to talk about, Greg Williams and the adjustments, the team's 9-1. Clearly, what they do works. The record doesn't lie. Sure, they lost against Orlando and they won overtime against Arlington, whatever. The team knows how to win, and especially at home, So it's just food for thought there.
And the thriller in San Antonio. Parker Romo, we're with you.
That. We still feel bad for San Antonio fans. That's
I don't. Parker Romo, thanks a lot, you bum. Thanks a lot. Just like Matt Freezer, FRAZE 69, #idiot, needs to drive in oncoming traffic.
You talking about me?
Because it's not, the XFL is not rigged. So now, hey, do we want to talk about it since we have Cullen on here with us? Because we are a little bit in overtime.
Yeah, we're supposed to get you know what? We can wait till next week for that. We can talk the season awards next week.
Because that's when they come out, the season awards.
Ooh,
so
yes.
Here's what we'll do: is we'll do another big show. We'll have the Queen come on with us, right? And we'll have the Rum Up podcast and the B-Hawk Live show, and we will talk about our season award winners. We'll see if they're comparable to what the XFL says. All I know is this. All right, so let's do our picks, okay? I think we're all in agreement that it's going to be Houston, right?
Okay.
Yep.
Houston represent the South.
Yep.
Okay. Now, we got DC and Seattle. Jesus Christ. Whew. Yes, rest in peace to Jerry Springer.
Yes, rest in peace, Jerry Springer.
Yes.
He brought a lot of love into my life as a child. Houston and DC. Matt Firmer saying Houston and DC. All right, Colin, we're going to go with you. Seattle or DC?
DC.
All right, A-Train?
No, DC, baby. You know I'm going to tell you I'm moving.
I know. I am so torn.
Good luck with your pick. Good luck with your pick.
So, Colin, in case you didn't pay attention, if you didn't see in the beginning of the show, right?
Both of them can't go.
I know. Joe McKay says Arlington and Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah. Leo says
I might sell my tickets if that happens.
Rest in peace, Jerry. Matt says Shields up.
Either way it goes, Seattle would make an intriguing matchup for whoever represents the South. Maybe Houston.
Champ, you know what? You were always right, Champ. I know I'm always right.
Shut up, Champ.
I know I am always right. Oh, see. Amanda's saying Dirty pick DC.
DC over Seattle, man. Come on, Dirty.
Phyllis saying DC. Oh.
You got to.
So listen, I made the bet that if Seattle goes to the playoff, goes to the championship game, I will wear an all orange jumpsuit, paint my face orange, wear my green Seattle hat, bring my Seattle flag, and bring my limited edition Danuch flag. And if DC wins, I will get a Neucher tattoo. Listen, if you guys remember, right, in the beginning of the year, Arlington, right? What team? Now, this was before Jordan was even in the league. What team did I say was going to the XFL Championship?
Seattle Sea Dragons. You did. That is very true.
He said what team did I say in the South was going to go? As much as I didn't want to root against the Brahmas, what was the team that I said was going in the South?
The Roughnecks. You did. It's on tape. It is on tape. It's on tape.
I will show you guys. Because Dirty is always right. I am never wrong.
He chooses about time, man. Why do you have to do this?
As much as I hate to say it, I'm always right. I told you Ben DiNucci is going to be the MVP.
Hey, the next time you pull a stunt like that, we're removing you from the show, and I guarantee you, I'm closing it out on that. Stop pulling that
the
crap.
drama. As much as I wish Jordan all of the best in the world, I'm sticking with my beginning of the year pick, Seattle versus Houston in the championship. With unfortunately, and Arlington, who did I say was going to win the championship?
You said the Roughnecks.
No. I said Seattle because of their coaching staff. I believe in that coaching staff. No, it was not recorded in 1998.
I tried.
So yes, I am going to go with Seattle versus Houston for the championship. So,
good.
With that being said, Colin, tell people where they can find the Rough 'Em Up podcast.
On YouTube at Rough 'Em Up Podcast, just the name, and then RU Podcast or Pod on Twitter. Find me there. Find us there. Me and Arlington up
he's
there.
Over there. He's
wherever he
next
is.
To me. He's next to me. He's up in your corner. And we'll end the show with this. As Leo says, for some reason, when Dirty spits shit out, it comes to fruition, even when he pulls it out of his pants. We will see you guys next week. We have a big announcement next week for the X-Fan show, for the X-Fan Legion, for Rough 'Em Up Podcast. Go check them out. Their show drops right after this. I am Dirty. That's my partner in crime. Damn, I keep pointing the wrong way. That's my partner in crime. Tuesdays and Thursdays, Arlington. On Thursdays, I give him up and I share him with Colin. Give a plug one more time, Colin.
Rough 'Em Up Podcast on YouTube. Find it right after the show.